to the intersection, fellas.
The road's closed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. The road's closed. We're legal. No jaywalking in this campaign, fellas.
Jay Inslee is the governor of Washington state. And unlike every other Democrat running for president right now, he's running on climate change.
Did you help out?
A little bit, not this part.
Really?
That means he's facing a unique challenge in the Democratic field.
Watch your step.
He's not only fighting to get people to know who he is, he's also fighting to get people to make climate change a key priority in 2020, and then to think of him as the person who can fix it. It's a tall order.
Hey, listen, talk to me about what you've observed in the recent flooding.
The point is those kind of floods are coming more and more frequently. And we don't have a national plan.
Right. We need a new president
Yeah.
to get a national plan. I'm up to that job, actually.
You're the only candidate in the Democratic field right now that has put climate change at the very top of their
Right.
priorities.
Right.
Why do you think that is?
I'm the only candidate putting the climate crisis at the top of our priorities because it has to be. This is our last chance. Leaders have let Americans down for 3 decades not responding to this, but we cannot kick that can down the road. The next presidency is going to determine whether or not we save ourselves from this imminent peril.
To get the word out, Inslee's made a point of visiting climate-affected areas, like Davenport, Iowa,
They got it going.
which recently experienced record flooding after temporary barriers failed.
Wish your cousin well. Hope we can help out. Hi. Tim, Jay, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Thanks for letting us say hello.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks
Yeah.
for stopping by.
While he was out there, he brought his dad jokes along with him.
When there's increased flooding due to climate change, that's a problem. But when it shuts down a brewery, that's a national crisis.
Yes, that's right.
The jokes went over well enough. But even Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez can't get people to pay attention to him. The media has spent more time covering AOC's blasting of Biden's climate plan than her backing of Inslee's plan.
Had you heard his name before knowing that he was coming here?
I had not.
No.
No.
Nothing at all.
No.
So what do you think of his stances?
This river thing, right? I mean, what I was afraid of today, and he didn't go there, I don't like to see this being politicized, right? I'm not convinced that the flood we just had really had anything to do with climate change.
I spoke to some of the people that you talked to today, and some of them mentioned that they hadn't heard of you before you actually coming to the state.
Right.
How does that make you feel? You're running for president.
It makes me feel like I've always felt when I've started probably a half dozen races as an underdog, and I've taken them to the cleaners at the end. So I'm a strong finisher, and we got a long road ahead to the nomination. I'm looking forward to it.
And today, Inslee got one step closer when he qualified for the Democratic debates.
How are you going to differentiate yourself from everybody else?
For me, this is an easy call. I'm the only person who has said, we got to stop using coal in 2030. I'm the only person that says we got to get off fossil fuels in our electrical grid by 2035. I'm the only candidate that says we got to stop using fossil fuels in our cars by 2030. So this is head and shoulders above anything else anybody else has been willing to do. Security makes us do this. Thanks,
After his stop in Iowa, Governor Inslee flew to D.C. to unveil his climate-focused jobs plan.
I am absolutely thrilled to be at the largest advanced thermal hydrolysis water treatment plant in the world today.
Listening to him, a small crowd of reporters and environmental advocates.
It is time for the people of fire and flood to have a president who will stand up and protect them from the ravages of climate change. So today, I'm announcing my plan for the evergreen economy, a plan to put 8 million Americans to work.
Let's talk about your plan.
Well, my plan is very much on tune with the Green New Deal. It's based on environmental justice, so that as we transition to a clean energy economy, we focus on, folks, the first victims of climate change, communities of color, communities of poverty. So it focuses on $25 an hour jobs. It makes sure that we help collective bargaining. It puts new investment in new paths for new skills training.
Is it really wise to do what you're doing and put climate change up front, try to be the climate change candidate?
The climate crisis is now rocketed to the top. It's sort of like Churchill said, you know, why is victory the only option? Because without victory, there's no survival.